Okay, well, first find of the day might be a coin, which is not very usual. I'd say that is it just a 2p? I can see, yes, it's a lovely, oh, but it's really, the verdigris is crazy, but there you go. Elizabeth II, 2p. Is that a thing? Yeah, it looks like it's got marks on it. Okay, so a couple of things here. I think that is a tiny little lead bag seal, but a tiny one. I think that is a piece of typeface. Oh, it's that PO one, but it's not back, you know, I would say post office, but it's not back to front. OP. A lot of post office bag seals up here on this rock because they're lead and taking them out of the water. Typeface? Possibly. See what other little... There's lots of metal in this bit. Let's have a look. It's one of these things. I still don't know what they are, but they're beautiful and it's shaped like a flower. I like to take these bits just in case. After some soaking they have some writing on, which has happened before.
Look at all these bits of metal. Is there anything here? I can see a post office seal. Plain one. Oh, I can see a air gun pellet, that's the word. Oh, there's loads. Loads of post office seals. What's that? Random metal, another post office seal. Another post office seal. Round things. Oh, what does that say? Something. Okay, this onward debate about flints. Do you think that's just sort of broken accidentally to look really like an arrowhead? I mean, it's even got like a little shaft. It must be accidental. I can't see any bulbous percussion. Does it look like it's work done on the edges? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to take that just in case. It looks a very uniform shape. It's very odd.
Okay, there's two really exciting finds. Well, there's one, well, there could be two. There's one that I think is definitely very exciting. This one is a coin. Let's see if it's something. Oh, that's different. So that is very clearly, the date is there amazingly, that is a sixpence from 1911. Found a 1911 sixpence, Mum. Wow. And actually next to it I think you might want to turn around. I think it might be a bucket list find for me that I've never found. Really? Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can see.
Is it a ring?
Yes, and I think it's decorated.
Oh, another ring? Well, they don't. Oh, and there's a marble.
Oh my gosh! I literally found the coin there. Okay, right, you can pick up that marble because I clearly was distracted by the...
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's an agate. It's a brown agate one. That's... Oh, is that what they're called?
This is a very good patch.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Oh my! That's amazing.
Oh my.
Does it say anything inside?
I don't know. I can't tell, but...
Wow. Okay. That is absolutely beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay, I was starting to worry then there wasn't anything here, and then in one particular spot...
This is 1941, not 1911.
Oh, doesn't matter. Wow, look at those. Oh, that's my...
Oh, your flint.
Doesn't it look like...
Doesn't it? I
mean, that would be random. But look at it. It really does. Wow, that's amazing.
I think once I bend it into shape, it will actually fit me.
Yeah, and you can wear it.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I've always wanted... I found half a ring. I've only ever found half a ring, so that is...
That's yeah. Wow,
okay.
That's amazing. Let's keep going.
Look a little bit more in this.
Yeah, this is a very good spot.
Yeah.
I'll get the box, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Cool. I'm going to take this because it looks like a tiny, my hair's in, because it looks like a tiny chair, and we've got ideas to make sort of matchstick dolls' houses. So there's a tiny chair and some fabric for a doll project. Lots of random beautiful shapes that will be very good for things. That is a very large chunk of lead. Gosh. Wow, okay, well, I'll clearly be taking that out.
Into a zipper. Fossilized sponge. They used to use as beads. I had to give you the folklore of those one day. A bit of slag, maybe. Bluestone.
picked up a lead disc that has a sort of crisscross design on it. So maybe a seal, maybe a token, maybe a seal. That's cool. Looks like that's gonna be some typeface. It is. Let's see what... Oh, I think I can see that's either 6 or an S. It's an S, even though it looks like a 6 on camera. How unusual that it's looking like maybe our 3 best finds of the day were all in the exact same spot. There is a triangle here though. Is it just a triangle? Possibly. Might end up being something. You never know with these sorts of places and these sorts of things. We've taken things home before with absolutely no notion that they could be anything, and they turned out to be the most amazing thing. That's got a word along the edge of it. I don't know if maybe it would have been a whole sentence or if that's just, I don't know, but it's got almost typeface words there, letters there.
Oh, it's broken.
What are you? Wow. I'm sure we'll have a use for you. Very pretty, whatever you were. Just had this out. What on earth are you? Looks like a cover of something. Or, like a... Oh, is it a knob? Is it a dial? Is it a ceramic dial? That's what it looks like, yeah, because it... Yeah, maybe that's what it is, maybe. Ooh, that's cool. Strange that it's ceramic, but that's what the shape suggests. Or... And the hole, I don't know, it might be something else. Another lead seal. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's not intentional, but... yeah, it's not intentional. But that piece of lead really looks like a love heart. Oh. Oh, some really good copper nails today too. A button. Lovely one. No writing, unfortunately. A round seal. There's a couple of other bits that I'll look more closely at, but that looks like that's going to be some typeface. Ooh, does it have a letter? I believe it does. Let's have a look at which one it is. Can't quite see it, but I'd say that was possibly a fancy D, capitalised. Okay, so I've been scraping around in this bit, And this looks like it has a mark on it, and the sun's just gone in. So it probably isn't anything interesting, but I'm going to take it just in case. And I think I only caught a brief glimpse whilst I was scraping, but I think this, if I turn it, might end up being Are You? Are You? It's definitely got decoration on it, can you see? And then that's an M. So is that a badge? That's an M, 100%. And then it's got sort of chevron marks. Mum, I think I found something cool. Yeah, and it's got a hole at the top, so it's got all that decoration, and then I think that's an M.
Oh, I don't know what that would have been.
Maybe like a pendant.
Yeah, it looks like it's got an M on the other side as well at the top.
Yeah,
stylized.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Cool. There's a lot of metal here. There must be something here. I mean, I can see a stair carpet rod holder. They're always good for things. That's some typeset. Okay, it says an underscore, possibly. Treasury tag. Pretty sure that's typeface O or something. That one doesn't have anything on it. What is this? It's a nice shape. It'd be useful for something, I imagine.
So this was like this, and I've turned it, and it's still got its lid on. It's probably ink. So I'm going to try and see if I can get it out. Luckily, I have a double-sided tool that has a chisel type material tool on the end. So let's have a look. Unfortunately, the lid was completely disintegrated in the clump. It's a shame because it looked like it would have had writing on, but it was just completely fallen apart. But I think I'm still going to take that because I know it's screw top, but I got the satisfaction of chipping it out of the rock, and we've probably got a lid that will fit it, and I can use it for something. That looks like a very good piece of wood for a doll's house project. A good floor for one of our projects. Potential shared piece something. I guess that said refreshment, and I guess that said rooms. So might be able to find that. So for this week's shared story, we have this sherd, which would have said Pierce and Plenty refreshment rooms. And Pierce and Plenty was a chain of working class restaurants in London, formed in the late 19th century, and it had a motto which was quality, economy, dispatch. So Pierce and Plenty was started by John Pierce, and it was originally a coffee stall on the corner of East Road and City Road, and he operated from 1866 to 1879. He then opened a shop in Aldersgate in 1879, and then moved it to Farrington Street in 1882. And by the 1890s, the company had 46 refreshment rooms, and 14 of those were attached to hotels. And according to the Caterer, a magazine, it catered to poor workers with large appetites but small means, serving an average of 40,000 meals a day.
Wow.
So big meals, small prices, basically.
Nice.
They served coffee, tea and cocoa, and beef pudding was a popular dish, which, although sounds like it's a dessert, it's savoury. Just because we have quite a few savoury puddings here. A Yorkshire pudding, which is just a pancake in a different shape.
In the shape of a pudding.
Yeah.
I can't think of any.
I mean, there's lots.
Black pudding.
Black pudding, which is just blood.
Blood and bits.
Yeah. But in history, there was a lot more puddings that were peas pudding.
Yeah, Christmas pudding. I think Christmas puddings used to be
pudding.
savoury. I think, possibly.
Well, yeah, it was like. But then, yeah, we've got some here because then we have like mince pies, which are sweet, and they're called mincemeat, but it's not.
Yeah, it's
minced
not,
meat,
no.
Like the minced meat we have as well. It's very confusing. We've made some strange choices with naming our food. But beef pudding was popular, but it was savoury.
You know what that would have looked like? It would have been like a suety outside, and then it would have had like the bits inside. You could probably find a picture of one.
I'll put a picture up of a beef pudding. So most of the patrons were workmen, and the New Penny magazine described them as a shouting, swallowing throng of newsboys, printers, devils, bricklayers, labourers, carters and sweeps. And he then John Pierce then went on to create another restaurant chain, the British Tea Table, aimed at city clerks.
Oh.
So a bit
Posher.
a bit more expensive, I imagine. So some history on John Pierce is that he was born into humble circumstances in Hoxton in London, and he had a strict Baptist Welsh mother, and she's said to have had a lasting influence upon him. And his father was a hatter, but he died when he was young, so from the age of 9, John had to earn a living.
Oh, wow.
He then became an apprentice porter in Covent Garden, but apparently it was a pretty miserable existence, and that he was determined to get out of that and establish his independence as soon as possible.
Which he did.
Yeah, clearly. He particularly recognised the difficulty that labourers had in getting good food early in the morning before work. And his first thing was a costermonger's barrow, from which he sold coffee, bread and cakes. Oh, he would start at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Probably worth going to bed. Well, it depends what time we went to bed, I suppose.
But after 6 months, Pierce had saved enough money to build himself a stall, which he named the Gutter Hotel.
Oh, nice! I like that.
I like John Pierce. And within a few years, he was serving 2,000 customers every day.
I saw a niche.
And then in 1879, he sold the Gutter Hotel for £200.
That's quite a lot.
That sounds like a lot of money then, yeah. And then he used those proceeds to buy the lease of 68 Aldersgate Street. The restaurant was self-service and offered a limited menu of steak puddings and jacket potatoes, which helped keep costs low.
Aww.
Soon they were selling 600 steak puddings every day, and one customer, a impoverished Ramsay MacDonald, later to become Prime Minister, used to eat there.
Wow.
Used to eat at his restaurant. Pierce was a teetotaler, so he didn't drink any alcohol, and offered his restaurants as an alternative to public houses and taverns. Also, his restaurants are one of the few places outside of public houses and hotels where women could get a meal.
Apart from, obviously, the Aerated Bread
Aerated Bread
Company.
By 1896, over 800 people were employed across the business, of whom almost half were women.
Another one, the enterprising for women.
And upwards of 100,000 meals were served every day by 1901. Okay, so here's something interesting.
Okay.
Basically, it was doing great, but then it peaked in 1903, and the profits began to decline because the competition had increased with rivals such as J. Lyons,
Oh, yeah.
we know, and they had apparently made a greater effort in the decor of their tea shops, and the Pierce and Plenty were failing to modernise their business, and the food quality apparently didn't match. So John Pierce resigned as a director in 1904, angry at the direction the company was taking because they were trying to make the food better and the decor, which pushed the prices up, and that was against his philosophy for starting the business. So he decided to found a new company called JP Restaurants. But the Pierce and Plenty continued to lose money, and it was alleged in John Bull magazine that the company resold leftover food from customers' plates. Yeah. So basically, it was loss making by 1908. So in the end, only 32 outlets remained from the British tea table, which is what Pierce and Plenty had become at that point, and they were sold to JP Restaurants, John Pierce's new company, for £28,000. And then JP Restaurants had 51 outlets around London by 1923. But then, guess what happened to JP Restaurants?
Oh, did they go? Did they decline?
JP Restaurants was sold to the Aerated Bread Company.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
A large catering concern in 1927. And John Pierce was retained in a consultative capacity.
Right.
But following a stormy meeting, Pierce and his sons were forced to resign from the board of directors in 1930, and shortly afterwards John Pierce had a heart attack and died.
Oh,
But that's
sad.
yes. But he did lots of very good, very cool things, and he did well. So there is the story of John Pierce, of Pierce and Plenty.
Such a cool name.
Pierce and Plenty,
Yeah.
it really is, yeah.
Very, very poetic.
Yes.
More than... Well, ABC, I suppose, is okay, but Aerated Bread Company is not really...
And Pierce and Plenty is better than JP Restaurants and British Tea Table.
Yeah.
Should have stuck with the name.
Yeah. Well, this is a very small roundup.
Very small.
Yes. I didn't really find anything.
You found the marble. You found the marble.
I found the marble.
Because I just didn't even remotely see it. It's quite, in the film I say, oh, there's 2 exciting finds here. And I imagine a couple of people were going, there's 2? There's 3 finds. There's 3 finds. Probably going, but what about the ring? What about the marble?
I saw the marble.
Yeah, I did not see the marble.
Yeah. So, what's my favourite find?
What's your favourite find?
Marble.
So, when I said this was a brown agate marble, it is not made of agate, it is glass. But I think they're called that because it looks like the bands of an agate.
It's a little bit worth for wear.
Yes.
We found better condition ones, haven't we?
But it is old. It's an old marble. I quite like it in its condition.
Yeah, it looks like a weird brown planet.
I don't know what my favourite find is.
Between 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, one of them cleaned up really nicely.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about that one. This. The beautiful M pendant with all of its beautiful sort of almost... Well, it's Art Deco, isn't it?
Yes, definitely 1920s.
Designs on the back. And I guess it's just an M.
It's an M.
For someone maybe whose name started with an M, I guess.
Yeah.
Also 1920s. Maisie.
Name. What's a 1920s name?
Maisie.
Maisie? Yeah, Maisie. Marjorie.
Marjorie. Margot. Margot's.
Margaret.
Megan.
Just lots of M names.
Just trying to think of the M name. But yeah, it's so beautiful. It's cleaned up so nicely. What 2 metals do you think it is?
I don't know. It's not gold.
No, it's not gold and silver, but the colouring has turned gold and silver, which is why it's so very beautiful. Yeah, it's cleaned up really nicely. As Mr. Caboodler said, M for mudlarking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. I really like how it's cleaned up. It's stunning. Really done anything?
I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, it's really, really beautiful. Whilst I have this out, I suppose we should talk about the sixpence from 1941.
They still had some silver in them at that point.
With George VI.
Can you see it better without it?
You almost can at this point with these things, yes. Just a lovely coin. And then my ring. The ring.
The ring.
The ring, which, funny story, we went to our local market this morning and we've shown a couple of things we've found there before, like our intaglio in the Georgian fob. And this time, on that same stall that we bought that, we found this, which is an exact replica of the ring we found.
Which is just crazy.
It's the exact same ring. So this one obviously is still not in perfect condition, but it's an indicator of what it would have looked like. And you can see where they both have been soldered, more obvious on this one, where they've been soldered shut. But interestingly, this one that we bought has hallmarks, and I can't see them on ours.
Oh,
ours doesn't have, well, I matched up the joining points. Yeah, I can't see any hallmarks on ours.
Oh.
Whereas this one very clearly has a set of 4 hallmarks. And one of which is a star. A 6-pointed star. Or, I mean flower, it looks like
it's not gold, is it?
I don't think so. It's I mean, we haven't cleaned it.
No.
No, it can't be gold because look at they wouldn't solder with like that on a gold ring, would they? Apparently stars indicate
gold.
Yeah, but it's not a gold ring. It's tarnished. It's not a gold ring.
Gold tarnishes. It's just that the reason when you know gold coming out of the ground or gold on a seashore, it doesn't do this. It doesn't do this. Mm-hmm. Gold, but it does it does that. It gets dirty. Dirty gold.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if the ring we bought for nothing, actually. We were given this for free, weren't we?
I'd find it highly unlikely.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely would have tested it and definitely would have given it. Yeah, but it's just really cool that we can now see what the ring would look like.
Although they did sell an intaglio.
For £1, they did, okay. Oh yeah, there's a replica of the ring. And unfortunately this one still doesn't fit. It fits my pinky. They both fit my pinky. I can do this if I want. But yeah, I don't really like wearing rings on my little finger.
I quite like wearing a ring on my little finger, but they don't fit mine.
Oh.
No, it's too big. You've got bigger little fingers than I have.
Skinny fingers. But that is the first complete ring I have ever found.
It is.
Which is crazy, which is why I was so very excited. I found, here is our found mudlarking ring collection so far. Wow, look at that.
We have got another one to add to it soon, though.
We do. No, that won't be up for a couple of weeks, though. So here is Mum's toe ring that she found on a beach. Mum's on the beach from today's video. Mum found this one. The mother of pearl was not found with it. This one was all squished and flattened, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was at Christmas, wasn't it? Was it Christmas?
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas.
We don't have the rights to that film. And we remade and we bent it back into shape and added the mother of pearl. And this is the only actually sort of wearable ring. Unless you want to put one on your toe.
You could wear yours if your fingers were.
And then this is the almost complete ring that I found on the Thames foreshore. So we think it's much older than the rest of them. It's really lovely and it's like handmade and it's very crudely made. And we did email the Flow, but they never replied. So obviously they can't have thought much of the ring. Some typeface, a button, what I think is a dial, and Elizabeth II 2 pence.
And a fossil.
Oh, and a fossil bead, which we will one day make a whole film about, because they're very cool. Yeah, that is our little short roundup, but two... Oh, no, but I was just going to say, but two really, really exciting finds, personally.
Yeah.
But next week will not be a short roundup or a short film.
No.
We have a couple of films ready to go now.
Four films we made.
4 films, yes. And it's very exciting and we have found some absolutely incredible things.
Absolutely amazing.
We're very excited to share them with you. So they'll be out. Well, the first one will be out next week. I find one of my absolute all-time favourite things to find. So
yes.
I'm
quite excited.
Yeah.
We'll give you a little tiny clip of that at the end, maybe.
Very excited about that. So we just have to say a massive thank you to everyone that likes and comments every week. We have to say a big thank you to Atomic Shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
Who gave us a shout out this week. I'm not sure we really need to give him a shout out.
No.
He has a significant amount of subscribers, but if the off chance you haven't heard of him or seen his videos, there is a link down below. He does everything. He does the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
So yes, just thank you. And hello to anyone that came over from his shout out. And yeah, thank you to all of our Patreons and anyone that donates. Thank you, everyone. We're very excited to share the next...
So excited.
Quite a few films with you.
Yep.
So we hope you have a good rest of the week and we will see you soon. Bye. I was like sort of holding, I'm trying not to breathe too much into the microwave and I had to
Into the microwave? The microwave?
Excuse me. We're filming.